would go. It actually smells actually quite nice.
Positivity.
We like this. You know, it's grown on me. I actually quite like the smell of it.
Palo Sandy is lovely.
Just before, it's already started.
Do you know what?
We're 30. I didn't even realise it pressed record.
You press record?
Yeah. The first 30 seconds are of you shuffling cards and me sniffing wood. Don't worry, I'm going to put technical difficulties in. It's all good.
And what you could do is that could be our boobs.
What?
You know, like when you have like takes.
Yeah. Oh, the bloopers. I wondered what you meant. I was like, oh, pardon?
Yes. So you could do a blooper.
I'm going to do the 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
So we're back on again.
We're back to the Crystal Cast. I mean, is that the name we're calling it?
Well, is that have a cup of tea? Mind you, I've not got a cup of tea.
Neither of us have a cup of tea.
We've got a cup of water.
Not that you can see that. Stay.
We've got a cup of water.
We have cups of water. Clink.
Cheers.
That's
well,
good.
actually, maybe you should vote.
Yes, we should vote. Well, you should vote.
Yeah.
In the comments below what the podcast should be called.
Yeah. Should it be? Because the thing is, I was thinking about this. Like, I love have a cup of tea with me because that's what I've done on my Facebook. And because Ellie called with Tia Tea Podcast, it kind of interlinked.
It kind of did.
And then we thought we'd carry it on, but then I'm like thinking, have a cup of tea with me is like just with me, but it's actually 2 of us and whoever else wants to join us.
And the audience as well.
Well, exactly. So I don't know, but anyway, yeah. Should we just say leave it in the comments?
Yes, leave it in the
Crystal
comments
Cast or Crystal Cast.
I really like the Crystal Cast. Like
So do I.
For the episodes, I think instead of have a cup of tea with me, it's like, because that's the channel name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas like the podcast could just be like the Crystal Cast, because
I like the Crystal Cast. The crystals, all the shiny things.
All the shinies. I realise that the shinies are not in shot, so I'm going to edit this out because I kind of like the shinies being in shot. Is that better? Oh, that's better. There we go. We fixed it.
We've got the shinies.
We do.
So we pulled a couple of cards initially.
We did.
Because we thought, what were we going to talk about? And actually, funnily enough, we've got relaxation, which you did say.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So you said about meditation.
Yes, because I thought a how to meditate would be really good.
Absolutely. So we'll start with that, and then we also pulled a card about positivity. So it's, I think, like maybe some simple steps on how to create a little bit more positivity in your life as well.
Positive affirmations are quite useful.
Do you do it?
I don't always, but like I do it in certain ways. I'm always like, if I'm like always, you know, if I don't always feel great, I'm always like, oh, I can just read or write or like do my assignment, and I know like I'll feel better. Yeah. Because I'll be doing something.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, for me, positive affirmations are something that I try and do every day. You know, sometimes life gets in the way. And what it actually does is it is scientifically proven to reprogram your brain.
Is it?
It actually reprograms your brain into believing what it is that you tell yourself. So it's like in a lot of my classes, I do a lot of meditation classes and workshops and things like that. So I'd say to people that, you know, when you're talking to yourself negatively, you're programming your brain to believing that you're not good enough, or that you're not worthy, or that you don't love yourself enough because of how unkind we can be and how we talk to ourselves. And, you know, I always say to people, would you say that to your best friend? How you talk about yourself to yourself, would you say that to your best friend? You just absolutely wouldn't, would you?
No.
So, you know, how we speak to ourselves is the most important thing, because there is a lot of negativity out there, isn't there, with people and what people say and things like that. But so Is it not working?
No, I was just trying to attach it to something. I was kind of like, I kind of wanted to attach it to something.
Oh, you attach it to a card. Do you remember?
Yeah, can I have a card?
Yeah. So
I like that one.
it's about, where was I, Ellie?
Where are we? Where am I? I don't know.
So yeah, so obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and that can kind of like point you towards being negative about yourself. Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
One of the best things that we can do for ourselves is to talk positively to ourselves, and it's not something, I feel like, with affirmations as well. I hope I'm not talking too much.
No, go ahead.
So with positive affirmations, the more you do it, the more you eventually believe it. But for me, I think the key to positive affirmations is to making them believable as well. So if you're saying to yourself, I'm amazing, you might be so low in that moment that the last thing you could tell yourself is that you're amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's kind of like, make it, because our brains are so complex with how they try to trip us and to confuse us sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think what's really important is to make the affirmations believable for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. I think especially in this day and age where there's like a lot of like comparison is I think the worst thing you can do to yourself.
100%
is like compare yourself, and it's worse if you're in a family where it's like you have an older sister or you have a younger sister or you have cousins,
siblings,
and they're like doing so much better, or they're like they're not doing so much better, like, but people make it out to be that they're like so much smarter, so much prettier. They're like so much, and then you start to feel, I feel like I'm not any of that because I'm not talked to in that way. People like don't even, I've experienced it, like people don't even, I feel like sometimes they kind of like see through me, and then it's like I'm like, oh well, I don't see myself as any of that. But I think positive affirmations are really, really good. I don't always do them, but I do like. Yeah, and I think I'm always kind of like, if I can't think of anything nice about myself, then I'm like, I'll just do literally anything else. Because the worst thing you can do is sit in bed or like sit on your phone or just sit in general and then ferment on those nasty thoughts about yourself.
Absolutely.
And you just can't do that, because then they really start to eat away and they really start to get at you.
It spirals. It can spiral out of control. And I think that's why when I say it's that repetitive thing. So again, if how many times have we told ourselves that we're not enough over and over and over and over again? We believe it.
Yeah.
So actually, if we're going to tell ourselves that we are enough, just that simple, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. Thank you for me feeling enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, if it works that when we're not very nice about ourselves, then clearly it's going to work when you're positive about yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's just flipping it.
Yeah.
And it's flipping that narrative. And I find sometimes, like, if you find yourself just talking negatively to yourself because of a certain situation that may have happened in that day, just if you can, try to flip it on its side and change the narrative.
Yes.
Change the affirmation. No, I am good enough. Of course I am. I can do this.
Yes.
I'm going to work towards feeling better, or whatever that is. But I think keep it realistic. I think that's the best advice I can give.
Yeah. No, that is solid advice. Or if you've had like a bad day and you're like, I feel like I've done nothing today. Why can't I do anything today? And then just kind of like flip it and be like, but I could do this and this and this today. Well, even if the day has like been fruitless, you can still get to a point and be like, well, instead of thinking about what I've not done, I'm going to do something that I can do or I want to do, and then you'll feel better.
Yeah, or maybe it was a day that you weren't going to be necessarily as proactive as another, and that's okay too, because sometimes rather than fighting it, so many people fight that feeling of feeling tired or not up to it, so they'll just keep on going. So it's kind of like that. This is a massive word for me actually at the moment. It seems to be coming up a lot for people, is awareness. So it's being aware of how you're feeling in that moment and listening to what that feels like for you, because at the end of the day it's you that matters. It doesn't matter really about anybody else, but it does matter about how you feel within yourself. And to not underestimate that as well. And I think, again, with the affirmation and also an intention, if you can set an intention, even if it's just one simple thing, thank you for my day going really well. Thank you for me feeling positive about today.
By intention, do you mean like something you intend to do?
Well, intention could be that you're going to have a positive day. It could be anything. So it could be thank you for me being productive. If that's what you feel you want to do, and you feel like you want to be more proactive or productive within that day, set that intention. Intentions are so powerful as well. It can really change again and flip things. So it's almost like, in the morning, set an intention, or if there's just one thing that you'd like to do, just set that one intention. Because I know lots of people write lists, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to write lists, but sometimes, again, if you don't feel like you've been able to tick all of it off, that can sometimes feel quite...
especially if you've got OCD and like you physically can't stand not having that one little thing done. And then it's almost just going to ruin your like headspace.
And it's almost like looking at everything that it is that you have done. And also in life.
People forget that though. Like everything that people do, and then thanks to certain, like maybe someone in your life, or like again family or friends, or like social media, and then you can compare yourself, and then you can be like, oh, I feel like I haven't done as much as that person's done. But if you face like a lot of different experiences, you could, not everyone in life has, unfortunately there are some people who face like really hard, difficult times, and that's the reason that they may be slower to go to uni, like me for example, or slower to do things. That doesn't mean that you've failed.
No,
it just means that you've taken longer because of these unavoidable circumstances that have just popped up, and that's not due to you. It's due to unavoidable factors that happen.
Absolutely.
Life happens.
And things strike that are beyond our control. And we can't control so many things, and I also think it's that definitely not comparing yourself. And I think everybody works at their own pace. They call it a lot in the spiritual, keeping it real, divine timing, and things happen at the right time, at that right moment, and you might not always know what all those answers are at that time as well, and that's okay. It's okay to not know all of what it is that you need to know.
Because we've conditioned like ourselves and our children into thinking that there always has to be an answer. You always have to know what you're doing. And it's a really toxic way of living, because sometimes you don't always...
It's a massive decision, isn't it?
You don't always know what you're doing.
When you leave school, it's such a massive decision to think about what it is that you want to do. And I always say to people, it doesn't have to be like for the rest of your life. It can just be for now. You can change directions at any point in your life. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can, anything's possible, really. You can do anything you put your mind to it. And if it's something that you really want to do, then you will push past the obstacles and do it. But one thing I do want to say as well, Ellie, is when you say about that you started university a bit later, just through circumstance, through life, what had been thrown at you, I also believe that it's very easy and very quick to judge as well. Do you know what I mean?
What, like others or yourself?
Well, judge yourself.
You can judge yourself
because again,
real
you're
quick.
comparing yourself, and also judgment from other people with how it is, or that expectation of what is it they think then you should do, which is very similar to that whole making big decisions in your life. if you're not feeling ready. Again, it's important to, sometimes you have to pause, sometimes you have to like take a bit of a stand back and just so that you can kind of look at things from a different perspective, because when you're doing everything in such a rush, or you feel like you're being pressured into something, you're less likely to want to do what it is that you're being pressured into doing. So it's almost like kind of alleviate that pressure and just be there for someone, hold space for someone without judgment, without any kind of physical force, and hearing them out. Listening to people.
It's so easy to like judge these days. Rather than judging, you should just kind of like listen to people. Because like you don't know what they've been through. They don't know what you've been through, and you can't just judge immediately based on like how someone looks, or what they do, or what kind of recreational thing they do to. Sometimes they're just getting through, and sometimes people do have a lot on their mind. So you just kind of got to be. I'm a very like a passive, placid person. I very rarely judge unless you spite me, like personally, which not a lot of people do. But like I'm just so like I'm very chill, and I'm very like, well,
acceptant.
That's
you
like
accept everybody for who and what they are.
If that's what they want to do and that's how they cope, then as long as it's not harming anyone else, then let them do it and let them cope. They're not always going to need that coping mechanism. One day they'll be out on the other side of it, or maybe one day they won't. But if they're going to be out on the other side of it, they'll do it in their own time. Yeah,
and sometimes I think as well as it's God, I was actually going to say something then, but so it's just knowing. Again, it's pulling back from having. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion, is there? Do you know what I mean? It's
no.
But it's almost like, again, I think we talked about this last week. Sometimes it's somebody else's thoughts or their own fears that can then hold yours back. But anyway, we did cover that last week. But still, it all integrates, really. All these conversations that we have all have such a purpose and integrate within each other, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think to get you through, like we said about the affirmations, so for me, what I do is I write mine on my phone. I've got like a little gratitude journal.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, so I write things and I can put pictures and videos, which I know a lot of people use that for Facebook, but I tend to do it more from a personal perspective for my own self.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like taking those pictures, those memories, and it's just for myself, writing my affirmations, and also gratefulness. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very, because we can have that tendency again to look at the things that we haven't done as opposed to what is that we have done. So think about what you have done in your life, or what you are doing, how far you've come. Try not to look again like what you haven't achieved. Look at what you have achieved and be grateful for that.
Yeah, and you can always write it down in a journal. Journals are quite powerful. You can like write your thoughts in a book. That's just very, very good, because then it can also like clear your thoughts, and you can always look back on your thoughts and be like, I can't believe I felt that way about myself at that point in time. So that's always handy.
And sometimes you could always have like a journal where you feel like you just want to offload, and then you could have a journal then and put all your grateful and your affirmations in. Or you could put the ones that you just need to offload and put that in the back of the journal, and put all your affirmations and your gratefulness in the front of the journal. I say that a lot to people as well. It's whatever that works for you. I know a lot of people that have so many journals.
But it's good though, because it's also like creative. There's somebody on YouTube who does it, and she puts like stickers, pictures. She does really nice handwriting, journals, and it's like it's creative outlets. They are something, they are not to be trifled with. They're really, really like strong, They're really good for stress relief, really good for concentration,
100%.
Really good for, doing anything.
Stops you from overthinking and overthinking, really. I think that's the best word.
Just stressing.
Stressing.
Like literally nothing. And it's nothing. But because of like our fight or flight, like anxiety, unfortunately, is part of our fight or flight. It is something that's like instinctual. It's within us. We can't really stop it. You know, especially for that, it's super good to like, you know, it just stops it. It just halts it.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying before that. It just completely went out of my brain.
And also, sometimes with anxiety, it's not always your anxiety that you're holding on to either. Sometimes it's other people's anxiety. So from a spiritual aspect, I always say to people to bubble up and protect themselves. Because sometimes you could be going into a situation or an environment that could feel energetically quite heavy. So, you know, I say that a lot again. I say to people sometimes, you know, maybe actually it's not even your anxiety. Maybe you're picking up on other people's anxiety.
Yeah, and you don't need that in your life if you're already quite anxious.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's important to protect yourself and put yourself in that bubble. I always say bubble up. That's what I do. Bubble up.
I feel like that needs to be on a shirt. If I could embroider, then I'd put that on a shirt. Bubble up. Does need to be on a shirt. Somebody do that. Someone reach out in the comments below.
Crystal Cast, bubble up.
Bubble up. Claire 2026. Almost forgot the year. No. Mine would be at the beginning when I was sniffing the wood.
So we were Palo Santi. So it basically you can smudge.
It smells really good. It smells like a really good you know those fragrances that say they smell like oak and musk? Yeah. That's exactly what that smells like. Yeah. That is what the fragrances wish they were.
So this is really good to cleanse.
It smells really good. Imagine like just the best smelling wood.
And crystals. You can smudge crystals as well.
Smudge. Oh, see, I really like sage, and I like the smell of sage until it's like you can smudge it, and then I just hate it.
Oh, really?
It just smells so bad to me.
Yeah. See, my husband says, "Oh, it just smells like onions," whereas Palo Santi just smells.
It kind of does, especially if you're like making like you're doing stuffing. And suddenly you get the whiff of sage, and then you smudge sage, and you're like, damn, it just smells like stuffing.
Yeah, so I think Palo Santi is just a much more softer, kind of woody kind of smell. Also incense sticks, they're quite nice as well to smudge.
I like incense,
your home.
but I don't like incense that are too like
strong. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It just gets all up in my nose.
Yeah,
and then
white sage is a good one.
Is it? I like the one you had last time. Is it rose?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was rose. Yeah, no,
I think
rose
lavender
is
the only one that doesn't agree with me, even though I love lavender.
Yeah, it can be quite.
It gets
quite
up
strong.
in there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very good cleanser though, lavender.
Damn, maybe that's why I'm having such a visceral reaction to it.
So another thing we were going to cover as well, which actually we were going to cover without pulling the cards, which was relaxation. So that for us is meditation.
It is.
So meditation.
And I've not ever encountered meditation before. So
well, you've not
meditation? Done it? I mean, I've taken like 10 minutes in the bath sometimes to like chill with some bath salts.
So really basically
boiling myself like a ham.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Don't meditate like that, Ellie.
So I would say for me, meditation comes in so many different forms. And maybe you don't realise that. So a lot of people think just sitting meditation is just sat down, omming or listening to music. It doesn't, it's, how can I put it? It can be, there's so many different things that are suited for different people. And I get a lot of people say to me that they're not able to meditate because they're not able to shut their mind off. That's what a lot of people say to me. But I always say that sometimes your brain chatter needs to come in because it's you almost thinking things through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always say to people to not fight that. I mean, they do say to try to clear your mind. I get that. But I find sometimes it's, you know, you need that to be able to kind of like, or it sounds a bit bizarre, but like talking to yourself almost, or being able to self-regulate and how you talk yourself down from that. And sometimes if your mind is quite busy, it's hard to do, but I think you've just got to go with it. It still has it still means that you've taken that time to sit down and just be in that moment.
Oh, okay.
And I would say, that could even be just outside, having a cup of tea. Obviously the weather's not that great, as we know at the moment still, because Ellie's constantly still getting
aura cleansed. Yeah, yesterday, day before that.
I think we all are. So, and it could be just sat outside, just closing your eyes, just listening to the birds, whatever that is. And if that's just like 10 minutes a day, I mean, if you can do it for longer, fantastic. Or some people benefit more from doing it in the evening before they go to bed. I would say to people, it's whatever it is that fits in with you and your schedule. And I think, there's lots of guided meditations on YouTube. You can do 5-minute ones. You can ground yourself. You can cleanse your energy. There's lots of things that you can do. So I would say to people to start doing them. So do short meditations, like 5 minutes.
On the daily, yeah?
Yeah, on the daily. I love that. On the daily.
We need that on another show.
On the daily. So yeah, definitely, even if you just start 5 minutes a day, or as and when you can, but try to do it as regularly as you can, because it re-regulates your nervous system and it calms you down. Yeah, because you're just having that moment to just calm and just sit with everything. And then as you go along, you can do it for longer.
Yeah.
And again, you can either just play some music and you can just sit and just meditate and just clear your mind. And again, even people saying, but I fell asleep. Well, maybe that's what it was that you needed.
Oh, so is that okay?
I would probably say set an alarm just in case you've got something else planned. But I think, again, if you're tired, then you're tired.
Yeah.
So I think you should just honor that, really. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And then when you're probably not as tired, then you're less likely to fall asleep. But I think, again, meditation helps with that. It helps to recharge your batteries.
Yeah, I mean, because I've misunderstood meditation. That was like something means you've got to sit still, and I'm terrible at sitting still. Then again, this was years ago when I considered it, and I couldn't sit still years ago. Can't sit still now, other than like these half-an-hour bursts, and then I run around Claire's house, and then I come and sit back down. But
it could even be though that you could manage 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what I mean? And again, it's setting a management. No, it's setting a how can I put it?
Routine. A
routine that fits with you. And I think, it doesn't matter what that is, it's what is right for you. What that ritual is right for, like a little ritual or whatever that feels. And again, that meditation could even be, you could set that as an intention.
Yeah.
Thank you for me finding the time to meditate, every day. I don't know. I think what's important is to not overwhelm yourself and then feel bad if you've not done something.
Yes, because you don't want to feel bad that you've not done something.
No, absolutely not. But also, the more you do it, the more you will feel and reap the benefit, because you will feel more regulated, more relaxed and calmer within yourself. And again, it's scientifically proven, not that, it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. If it feels good, that's the most important thing.
I feel like I think it is. It's proven scientifically in some way. Because I've always had the misconception that it was like you've got to sit for 10 minutes, sit still, and you've got to shut your mind down, and then you've got to just sit, and you've got to listen to some really weird music that you don't really like, but you've got to sit still for 10 minutes. You got to shut your mind off.
And also,
my mind just doesn't do that.
Well, no, and also we're in a world where there's a lot of stimulation. So, again, we're so used to being so overstimulated.
Yes.
So that then automatically makes you feel that you're not able to be calm, because you're so used to your brain and you doing something all of the time.
You're getting overwhelmed.
Yes.
And then you become acclimated to being overwhelmed. So then your brain is like, you shouldn't sit, and you shouldn't sit for longer than 10 minutes because you need to be doing something else, because there's like a thing on YouTube you need to watch, or on Instagram, on Facebook, or you need to scroll, or something
or
like that.
there's a job that maybe you need to do. And also a lot of people feel guilt as well. A lot of people feel guilt for taking time out for themselves.
Yeah, it's like, since when did we become like that? Why have we started doing that?
I know. And I think also as well with meditation, it isn't about just sitting and listening to music. It's also about art, painting, crochet, knitting,
Anything creative.
going for a walk. That's meditation.
Yes. You know, if you dance, or if
Yeah,
you like
if it calms your
run.
nervous system down and you don't feel like you're doing something and it doesn't feel like a chore, that is still classed as quite a meditative practice.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
No worries, this is all good.
Yeah. So
technically I meditate like 2-3 times a day.
Well, yeah, because you take Maeve out.
I do.
May. Yeah, that is literally. And also it's kind of like, sometimes it's like, you know, again, setting that intention, you're grounding yourself, you're being outdoors. You know, that's quite important as well if you get quite heightened and overwhelmed easily.
Yes.
But you can, again, do grounded meditations just for 5 minutes and just imagining those roots growing right the way down into the earth.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to take 5 minutes to be like, breathe, and then just, you know, be like, I'm okay. I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
I've not phased through reality. I'm not in the back rooms. I'm still in here. I'm still here. I'm just gonna take a minute. I'm just gonna go to the toilet, take a minute, and then come back.
Exactly. So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's very good. I can't believe we're in the day and age where it's like looking after yourself and your own well-being is considered bad. I'm like, but it's not like we're all main characters. We're not always the antagonist, but the protagonist. No, that's the other one. I know that. It's not like we're always the antagonist, but in your own world, you kind of are. And you've got to look after yourself, because I mean, if you don't, and then you have a panic attack at work because you're overwhelmed, then you can't go to work, and then you can't earn the money because you're just overwhelmed, and you don't want to be overwhelmed all the time.
No, it's not good for you. Not good for you. So I think, you know, whatever it is and whatever feels right for you, really, and it's finding those little things, you know, that again work for you. I think that's just really important with any of this, is that it's doing what resonates with you and what feels comfortable for you.
Yeah. What
might be right for one person might not be right for another.
Yeah.
And I think for me, meditation has certainly been something that you know, I started, it's like riding a bike. I started just 5 minutes, just guided meditations, and then I've just done them you know, done it for longer, and then I've done it without the guided meditations. I do it with angels. So again, you know, that's what resonated with me. That's what I felt, you know, differences. And, you know, you can feel shifts within your body as well when you take that time, because you carry as well. It's like self-awareness. You carry different elements of stress within your body, and then it kind of, you can hold it, and it can obviously show itself as pain or discomfort in the body. So again, meditation can be so powerful, not only for your mental mindset, but also from a physical point of view, because quite often our mental mindset can bring on more physical pain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mental health,
because you get stressed and you end up really tense, and
mental health can always like affect your physical health, because then you can start to neglect your health because you're not mentally well, or you're not mentally stable, you're not just mentally great. Then you can just, you know, people, you know, they do unfortunately, you know, stop eating, or they stop drinking as much, or they stop doing something
it's that general self-care that replenishing yourself and knowing that, you know, it is so important to try to keep that if you can. Keep going.
Yes. As again, we'll put links below, probably for a couple other bits in case you're affected by them in this episode.
Yes.
Because we will, you know, and we'll put Claire's info below, which I didn't do on the last podcast.
That's okay.
That was so stupid of me.
That's okay, it doesn't matter.
I could put it in the description though. I could put it in the description of the channel. Why didn't I just do that?
It doesn't matter.
Just do that instead.
Everything's a learning.
It is a learning curve.
Everything's a learning, isn't it? It's all good.
Awesome.
And, you know, the more we do it, the better we get.
Exactly.
Hopefully we'll get more people watching, and, that you can resonate with what it is that we're talking about. And
and again, we would like comments below, your
course.
suggestions, any questions, answers, any like specific names of the podcast, because like we like Crystal Cast, but we don't know we're going to keep it yet. We could have a cup of tea with me, but that's quite I mean, I feel like that could be we could abbreviate it, but I don't think then it would confuse people, and then they would just use the abbreviation. I don't know what it actually means. So we could do that. We'll think about it, but do plop it on the comments below.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it, don't we?
And we will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.